Roswell, run!
Where did it go?
Damn it!
What do I do?
Behind the tree! Ready your spear! Come on, you filthy wretch. You want blood? Come and take it!
At the last moment, Owen drops to the ground and points his spear up. The boar's charge slams the elm to the ground, and the root ball pulls up to dig at the boar's underbelly. Its head turns slightly from the impact as its tusks catch against the bark of the oak. As its head is forcibly turned, Owen points his spear at the boar's chest, and the blade disappears as it plunges inward. A bucket of black blood spills out as the mortally wounded boar bellows and continues thrashing forward. As Owen scrambles backwards along the ground, Razuel thrusts his own spear at the boar's head, but to no effect. More blood spills, gallons now, and Owen's spear hand is coated and slips. The boar, thrashing even in death, twists his head one last time, and his left tusk bears down on Owen's midsection, plunging into his stomach.
Owen! Get the hunters to safety.
Let's be distracted.
No, run. I will face it.
Roswell! Hunters, come!
The Grobenschwein's tusk graze Razuel as it barrels through, ripping open his shirt and leaving a shallow cut on his chest. Razuel has dodged his attack by the narrowest of margins. Razuel throws his javelin and it sticks in the hind quarters of the Grobenschwein. It does not seem to have noticed the wound. Razuel grips his spear haft and looks to the forest.
2 trees, side by side.
Razuel tucks behind his shield as the Grobenschwein barrels forward. He takes a hard hit and he's thrown back against the medium-sized oak. His shield is now broken. Razuel rolls around to the far side of the oak. Bits of splintered wood and bark fly through the air as the Grobenschwein smashes into the stout wood. Razuel leaps back as the shaking oak cracks and creaks against the boar's massive weight. Razuel dives out of the way of the tree and bolts through the forest in a curving path, unfortunately in confusion, back towards the carts and his friends. The Grobenschwein shakes its head and crawls over the downed tree and pursues Razuel with haste. Razuel leaps over rocks and mud pits, fluttering leaves behind in a trail, barren branches clanging against his iron helm as he rushes past. He tightens his grip on his thrusting spear. As he enters a clearing, he's shocked to see Frigga 30 feet away, returning to look for him. Quickly, he veers to the left where a large boulder sits next to an oak slightly larger than the one before. Reaching the spot in between, he plants a foot and turns.
Roswell, look out!
Frigga glares on in horror as the beast bursts from the foliage and charges Razuel. She has little time to react. In her right hand, she's holding her spear. She had instinctually transitioned to a throwing hold, the product of muscle memory born of years of martial training. Knowing her own capabilities and those of the beasts, she bows her head and closes her eyes.
Motan, hear me.
As the creature charges within 10 feet, Razuel crouches against the earth and plants his spear butt into the wet soil, aiming the tip at the weak spot at the base of the neck. On a branch above, a raven settles and folds its wings. Frigga lurches forward, spear in hand. She sees Razuel disappear behind the mass of the monster.
Wotan, strike this abomination!
The titanic weight of the brute slams into Razuel's spear. But the point misses its target, falling into the crevice between the left leg and the rib cage. The butt of the spear digs into the earth, the wooden haft flexing under the weight as it rips free from Razuel's hands and slides backwards across the surface of the mud. Frigga, her eyes half closed, hurls the spear. Spines scrape on Razuel's armor and helmet. He feels that several of them have pierced his skin. The coming death will not be clean. Frigga stops. Silence. The raven takes wing. Distant sounds as Ivar gets closer. Frigga's spear had plunged into the beast's eye socket. It clumsily collapses over Rasuil, his body hidden beneath. The great beast was still now, and certainly dead.
What a hit!
Rasuil, can you hear me?
Not for much longer! Help, please!
Frigga runs to the flank of the beast, but she can't find a handhold amongst the thick quills. Ivar reaches low, pulling some of the quills to reveal the underbelly.
All of you, get under here and lift!
Ivar, Frigga, and the Sanucci hunter kneel under the boar, straining and barely lifting it.
The hell are you doing, Yoth? Get in here!
Yoth joins them at last, and together they roll it off of Rasuil. Rasuil has been pierced by several spines.
The day of your death is not today.
She goes to his side and kneels, beginning to tend to his wounds.
You'll have a scar to be proud of. I wish the Skald had seen that. We'd have the best battle song of our generation. What would the Skald sing about, boy? The tale of Rasuil pig smashed? Saved by a woman? Enough to enter Valhalla. Dranger. Very Dranger. That's how I want to die. Fighting a gigantic monster.
Like in the old songs.
Or maybe an army. Is it Dranger to lie on the ground and be trampled? Come on, Bjorn. Wait, Rasuil, you dove before it hit you. Did you trip?
Frigga is ripping away parts of Rasuil's pants and applying honeyed bandages to the wounds.
That's how...
How what?
That's how you fight a Grobenschwein.
By flopping on the ground like a herring? You were just afraid. No need to act tough.
No, that's how you kill them. That's how Owen did it.
You lived with Owen for a winter. Wait, wasn't he gored by a Grobenschwein?
He was the best hunter in the tribe.
I believe you! Next time, though, just try standing and fighting instead of some weird trick. Warriors don't trick, we fight, right?
Sometimes the trick is part of the fight.
Come on, Rasuil. I will help you to the cart. You'll need to rest for a few days.
I need all of my guards still working. You can find some healing salves in that box there. You apply them, girl.
Use one on the injured hunter as well. He was badly gored.
Nein! My salves are not to use as you wish. They are expensive.
What is the cost?
Are you sure, boy? They are 8 silver ounces per bottle.
What I have is just enough.
Rasuil tosses the bag of coins at Bjorn's feet. Bjorn snatches it up and peeks inside. 9 silver coins, all the money Rasuil has in the world.
Well, you have enough. A foolish thing to do. Wasting money on some hunters you don't know. But since you paid, I will allow it.
Bjorn pockets some coins and tosses the bag back. Later, Rasuil will find that only 2 coins were taken. As Frigga tended to Rasuil and the wounded hunter, Yoth, Ivar, and the Sanucci drove the wagons onward.
Clover is right around the bend. That's home.
He was right. Clover shortly appeared, just as the sun was disappearing over the coastal horizon. A Sanucci guard was on the edge of town. He approaches in a hostile fashion.
No visitors late at night. You drag your sorry asses back wherever you came from.
Wait. I'll vouch for them. Cathal, is that you? Yes, please let them in.
There's debts to be paid.
Cathal, are you sure about that? Yes, they saved Sean. He'd be dead if they hadn't come. Please. Alright, they can sleep in the temple tonight.
No, not the temple.
What about the guest house? What's wrong with you, Cathal? Fine, but they're your responsibility.
We saved your man. What more do you want?
We don't need pity or saving. Keep in your quarters tonight. One night, no more.
We'll leave first thing in the morning.
You bet your ass you will. Cathal, show him to their room.
Cathal led the wagons to a place where they can tie up the horses.
You're lucky Cathal vouches. Horses are illegal here.
What do you mean horses are illegal?
You don't understand the word illegal? Too many syllables?
Cathal immediately intervenes, but not before Ivar's sword is partly unsheathed.
Please, let me show you your room.
Rasuil places his hand on Ivar's, and with an earnest glance at him, pushes the sword back down. Cathal led them to a large house, which was apparently a guest house. The quarters were spacious, but sparse.
Please, I spoke for you. Don't make me regret it. Stay inside tonight, and don't leave for any reason.
Damn it, Rasuil. I wish you'd left them in the woods. Ungrateful bastards. That's the Sunuchi. It is their way.
It does not take long for a deep sleep to overcome them, with the exhausted Rasuil being gone in seconds. Except for Frigga. Soon after the others begin their sleep breath, she rises and goes to the window and opens the shutters. The night is still and not particularly cold for winter. She looks up at the stars. Only the rhythms of her companion's quiet snoring fill the air.
Wotan, if you listen, thank you.
Frigga looks out at the distant stars, squinting her eyes and listening for the sign of a wolf howl. Soon a howl is heard, but it is not the howl of the wolves she knows from home. It comes from the forest to the east. She turns her eyes to the moonlit forest edge. Something emerges from the foggy tree line. Not something low to the ground, something taller. This could not be a wolf, could it? Frigga regards her sleeping friends. Cathal told them not to leave.
Wotan, what do you show me?
Frigga climbs out the window, spear in hand, leaving the rest of her belongings behind. Quietly, crouching down, she moves towards the forest, her eyes struggling against the twisting vapors and moonlit shadows to perceive the tall shape standing within.
Tell me what you are.
The strange shape twists and flees into the forest. For a moment, Frigga forgets to breathe and becomes as a statue.
Come on, Frigga, come on!
Frigga creeps low out of the town and runs into the forest, where the pale moonlight can no longer be seen.